You know which one's you.
Driver's license, they went over there and they're closed on Monday.
Drive-ins.
Yeah,
So we just had a 10% increase. Talked to him on the phone, he's never.
I didn't know they closed on Mondays.
Go there today, he says, as of Friday, he said we just had a 20% increase, which means that that's 20% on the 10% increase, so you know, we're probably talking, what, 22, 23%? So now we're up to 30-some odd percent increase. Just done them, 4 to 6 week wait if you want one bill
Oh, if you want one bill.
right away, but they don't seem to. I mean, they're solid, they're wind tight, you can set them down and some. They're off the ground about that far.
Same old stuff, just different day.
I'm gonna check with the Amish.
A lot more of it.
They should
Problem
do that.
is the price of just straight wood has gone stupid.
You don't need fence posts, do you?
I did that
You don't
Friday,
need wood posts, do you?
turned off
Have
my
a hand.
computer at 11 and
I
turned off
ran
my
out
phone.
ground,
Said, I'm gonna
Sport Wiley that's on the, road, he's the road boss.
Yeah.
6:30.
Heavy, and then it rained the other day, and I went home and worked out in my barn.
There's no attorney here.
It's off a pasture.
Live and
I said, you fence it off,
Funny, I don't think about
you can have it for 10 years.
until I get in the field. When I get in the field, I start thinking about all the stuff I could be doing at my house. But when
Yeah.
I'm at my house, you know, in the winter, I'm like, there's what to do here.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't do it. I should kick him off and not let him cut any hay this year.
You got moved up.
Bringing me home poles.
Where's Melanie at?
She said it won't be, Melanie's not coming tonight? She's not coming tonight.
I gave the. He probably took 75, 80 of them.
Everyone's here.
75 or 80 of them.
Of what?
8-foot post. And 10 inches.
I think
long.
right now I'm planning on it.
I've got tons.
Okay, you ready?
There's light poles?
It's 6:31. The chair recognizes a quorum. If you would, please stand and we'll say pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First on our agenda is approval of minutes. Do we have a motion for approval of minutes?
Have you read the minutes? I would like them to be approved as sent.
Ball.
Second.
And second by Mr. Patrick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is approval of agenda. Any additions or corrections to our agenda? If not, I'll call for a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Does anyone have to excuse themselves for conflicts today?
I will be on the very last
On the
docket.
very last one? Okay. So that would be, MIP 2104, preliminary and final plat. So, Mr. Hell will have to excuse himself. All right, we'll move on to old business. Public hearing for, MIP 2102, preliminary and final plat. And let's go ahead and put in there, public hearing for petition Z 2101. Ms. Sadler, would you like to speak?
We are really struggling with our easements.
60 days? So you're looking June then? Okay, it said 10th here, May 10th. Oh, okay, okay. So you're asking when to, what's that date?
June 14th?
14th?
But if you don't get it done, you're dead in the water by my vote. Dead serious. I'd rather see you say 60 and get it done than have to pay it again. Maybe nobody would support me, but
60? You want 60? Okay. So she is asking for a continuance till June 14th. I believe they said what date was for both petitions. Do we have a motion?
So
Grant-
moved.
Mr. Hill moves to grant the continuance. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll move on to new business. Public hearing for petition MAP 2101, the final plat. Mark Gradison is requesting final plat approval for Enclave Section 4. Please state your name.
I guess my question would be with your neighbors complaining this time about what's going on?
Now, this section is the one right at the corner of County Line and Paddock. It used to be the Senior Living Center, which did not go through, and they took that over.
One that had some drainage issues.
They don't there, that's across the street. Any questions for Mr. Cole? No questions?
So you have, where the drainage and stuff goes through, when are you planning on getting started on this?
We would anticipate starting very quickly so we could have it paved before around November. We would have it paved this year.
We'll let you know the drainage is going through the process. Did our first review and we sent some comments back, and so there's only a few comments that we had. So we're in that process. Oh, okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Laura, do you have anything you'd like to report?
Is this where that nursing home or?
Yeah, that's where the nursing home was gonna go. Is it hard to hear? Mine or yours? That one? Is it on? You'd be dead. You got batteries?
Sorry about that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. As you know, just wanted to provide clarification and see if you had any additional questions because the county engineer couldn't do his own review of the plans. So you saw that USI Consulting performed that review on his behalf and included their review letter. So just wanted to see if you had any questions about how we did that and any of their comments. The development plan that was submitted is completely consistent with the prior sections, and I would encourage that we continue that versus trying to insert a change that might have been called out by the review letter, particularly the sidewalk. I think that's something that we can correct going forward in our zoning and SCO update. But if you don't have any other questions, I just want to see if there were any issues with that, and then let you know that staff recommends approval.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Banquet, would you like to speak? Would you like to speak? I don't think, no. Miss-
Thank you. I'm kind of new at this.
Fine.
And kind of lost at the same time of what's going on with the planning. And I was here, I don't know, a year or two ago, and at that time, I was under the understanding that this area was going to be a retirement home. And I was just informed that the funding was not available for that. So, what I understand now is that this is going to be a residential area. What is the price ranges of these homes?
It listed $170,000.
That's what I want to know.
It listed as $170,000 and up. How much? 170 and up.
How things change. How things change, huh? Because when we first moved in that area 25 years ago, across the street from there, I was told by the commission that these homes, as they were building Heartland Crossing, were going to be more expensive coming up. So that's not happening, is it? What would that do to our property value around us? That's my main concern. I was all for the retirement center going in. Yeah, I was for that. But being that these homes, and I know of other neighborhoods with this price range, it just doesn't seem right to me. It just doesn't. So I spoke my piece.
Any questions? Would you like a rebuttal?
I don't know that additional comments are necessary at this time. If you have any questions, though, I'd be happy to answer those.
Any other questions? No? No. Thanks. Thank you. This closes the public portion of our hearing. Opens discussion for the commission. Any comments or discussion? If we don't have any comments.
Retirement center would have been nice, but
Yeah,
It was, his circumstances didn't go through,
they just couldn't get the funding.
and, I think considering the situation and location there, I don't see anything wrong with this one at all.
Is the, school, do they have enough room for more children?
Yeah, they do. Yep. The enrollment's pretty much steady, hadn't really went up. The enrollment hadn't went up much at all in Mooresville. They're pretty steady. In fact, they're wanting more students. So. Any other comments? If not, I'll call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the final plat of MAP 2101, Enclave Section 4, contingent upon the Drainage Board approval.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Roberts, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to the next public hearing. It's Z 2103. The rezone, Mr. Michael Taylor is requesting rezone for a portion of property from I-2 to Ag. The property is located in Clay Township at 6997 Heath Lane. Mr. Taylor?
I'm Mike Taylor, and I want to get this rezoned.
Want to tell us why? You don't want to mine it?
Well, they won't let me build a house up there until I get it zoned back to ag, so.
Thank you.
Which one is it?
It's across from the Center Brook Drive.
Creates a little problem on financing, doesn't it?
Pardon?
Creates a little problem on financing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is the second time we've heard this recently, and this is something I think we should be able to do, is to change this to ag, like the rest of the property is across there. It's unusual location and unusual piece of property, but certainly won't hurt to have a house on it.
Size house you plan on building in there?
How big?
Yeah.
2,300 square feet.
Gonna put a sledding hill in for the kids?
No, that's the reason I wanted to get it rezoned. Ain't nobody going to be able to do anything there anyway, so I figured it's a good spot to put a house.
Well, Mr. Taylor, the problem I have is you're not in compliance with your Rule 5 or the county ordinance on your drainage.
You say I'm not?
You're not. And Mr. Dial, my coordinator, called you when you were heading west, and we haven't heard anything since then.
Now, who called me?
Bill Dial's my stormwater coordinator.
Yeah, and he was supposed to meet me out there on a Tuesday, he never showed up.
Well, you didn't call the office.
Yeah, I called him. I talked to him, and he definitely said he'd meet me out there on a Tuesday, and he didn't show up.
Well, he was sick Tuesday.
This has been 6 months ago.
No, it's just here recently, because you scrubbed that hill off.
Well, I got a permit to do that. I mean,
Not for your Rule 5, it was for the lower part.
for the what?
It was for the lower part. the part where you put your barn. And that's why he called you, because you weren't in compliance with it.
I don't guess I know what you're talking about.
All the scrubbing you did on the hill, you got bare dirt.
Where I took the top of the hill off?
Scrubbed all the dirt off, yeah.
Okay, I've got a permit to do that, and I told Bill that. And he went and looked, he come back, and he said, yeah, you do.
I talked to Bill today.
Well, I paid $3,500 for something, so,
That was for your other permit for the lower part.
so what's the permit for then?
Well, the permit was for the first part you did.
I don't know, no.
And you were heading west, and you said you'd come in whenever you got back.
Misunderstanding here somewhere, because, I mean, what I had Holloway draw up for me was to take the whole top of that hill out. I mean, I've got blueprints and everything.
According to Bill, you're not in compliance.
Well, I'll just have to get with Bill or something, because, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I've got everything signed by them that I am, so.
According to our records in our office, you're not in compliance, and that was in my tech report.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, the bottom part, there wasn't even nothing even discussed about doing anything at the bottom part.
Do what?
There was never nothing even discussed about doing anything with the bottom.
First part you did, where you put your barn in,
Yeah.
and you had to grass it, and you had to do all that, that was your permit. Was that
No,
what
I
you-
never even got no permit for that. When I come down and got the building permit,
You're not in compliance with our office. And I know Bill called you and talked to you, because he told me he did. And you scraped the entire hill off, you put no erosion control in, it's bare dirt right now.
well, the erosion control keeps the stuff from running on somebody else's property, don't it?
Erosion control keeps your sediment on your property.
Okay,
What have you got in place?
okay, I had a silt fence up for 2 years around the
What have you
creek.
got now?
I don't have nothing because I'm mowing it.
You've got bare dirt, you've got erosion.
Well, I got it up on top of the hill, but that comes down on me.
Hill.
So what do you want to do? I don't know.
No, I'm just telling you, you're not in compliance.
Well, I told Bill to meet me out there and show me what he wanted to do, so. I'll just have to get with Bill tomorrow or something and see what he wants to
You
do.
gotta get with Bill. I just wanted to point out that he was not in compliance with his Rule 5 or the county ordinance at this time.
What would you recommend we do in this?
But we gotta get him in compliance to that.
We postpone this for 30 days? Is 30 days enough, or 60 days? What would be the way to get this solved?
If he comes in and gets his permit and gets back in compliance, he can do it in 30 days.
I guess I don't know what permit you want me to get.
You gotta get a Rule 5 because
I've got a Rule 5 for it.
Not for that part of it. That's not the part you had the Rule 5 for.
Yes, it is.
Have you got,
I
we'll look
ain't
at
got
it.
it in the car with me, but I can go home and get it, I guess.
According to Bill, you didn't have it, and you're not in
Well,
compliance.
that's what he told me I didn't have it. He went and checked, he come back and told me I did. So,
Well, he told me today, no.
well, I
And
don't
he
know.
said that you never contacted him back.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, Holloway drew it up and I took it to them and they approved it and I paid the money and got the permit and,
Well, we need to come to the office and make sure you're in full compliance.
well, I mean, I don't know what to do, you know?
I guess my question would be, probably to Mr. Peden, could it be approved once he comes into compliance with the Rule 5? Would the motion include that it was in compliance with the surveyor's office? If everything was in compliance with the surveyor's office? Sign off on it. I mean, we need to, in my opinion, have a way to resolve this.
I mean, the Rule 5 deal shouldn't have nothing to do with changing the zoning on it, I wouldn't think.
We better put it under continuance. So they get a resolution on it, because it's gonna be a head-butting battle. And
You're thinking-
we don't need to get into that. He doesn't need to get into that, so.
30-day continuance?
Not to muddy the waters, but should you decide to recommend favorably for the rezoning, obviously, when you apply for a building permit, you have to get your erosion statement from the surveyor's office, and they can hold up that building permit until we have that, because we can't issue it without their okay on the house. So that's where your leverage is, honestly, if you decide to rezone.
So I'm asking a question, approval with compliance would satisfy planning office through the Rule 5 surveyor?
Honestly, I feel like this zoning is a standalone issue and you evaluate land use. Is it appropriate to change the zoning, yes or no? I understand the surveyor's concerns about it being out of compliance, but I also feel like we can address that either through their enforcement procedures or when they try and pull a permit to build a house and they can't do it because they're out of compliance. That's when that brings that back into alignment. But the question is ag appropriate for this location to change it from industrial to ag?
All we're doing is saying from industrial to ag tonight. Our building
Two separate
permits
issues.
is a separate entity.
And ultimately, you're just making a recommendation to the county commissioners. I understand the need to want help to get that in compliance, but, you know, if he can produce a permit and we continue it for 30 days, you know, again, because I don't think he came prepared to address this issue because he thought he was going to talk about zoning.
Technically, a move to approve from a change in zoning. We've got control over if he builds a house or not. We're just saying, change it.
You're making a recommendation to the county commissioners that it's favorable or unfavorable. But ultimately, yes, when they go to pull a building permit, they gotta go to the surveyor's office and they have to get that erosion control, either submit a plan or they get an exemption. Those are the only two options. So they're gonna determine if he's in compliance at that time. And if he doesn't build a house for years, then they need to take enforcement action on the site as it sits today.
Work for you, Terry?
Yeah, if you want to rezone, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you knew my tech report and the reason we did it. So, you guys, how you want to go proceed with that?
I think we're dealing with two separate issues here.
We are.
We're talking land use and zoning, and there's enforcement manners there, and, I mean, I don't know I obviously believe what your office says, but sounds like a phone call and a couple of things might get that cleared up.
Hopefully. All right, thank you.
This is just to change it from industrial to ag tonight. That's what we're dealing with. It still falls back on the surveyor's office and stuff to give the approval before the building permits and stuff. So that'd be a separate entity altogether, so.
Any other questions for Mr. Taylor?
I have none.
No? All right, thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you.
Ms. Parker, you have anything? Do you have anybody to speak against? No? That closes the public portion of the hearing. Open for discussion.
I think it would work for everybody if we just rezoned it from I-2 to ag. Then everything else would fall into the regular procedures.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll call for a motion. Mr. Rumball?
I would move that Z-21-03 request from I-2 to ag be approved and sent to the commissioners.
Recommendation to the commissioners to
Approved.
rezone.
Yes.
Is that the proper term? Forward to favorable recommendation. Do we have a second? Jason seconds it. Mr. Maxwell? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, me? Kenny's abstaining. You heard the commissioners. So that'll be third? Third. You'll be heard May 3rd? No, wait. He won't go to that. The next meeting? So it'll be the 3rd. Mr. Taylor, you'll be heard May 3rd at the commissioners' meeting? Yeah. Commissioners have to approve it. Yeah, sign that thing up. Let's get that signed up. Let's go. Move to our next item, public hearing for petition MIP 2104, preliminary and final plat. The Morgan County RDC is requesting the minor plat of property into 2 lots. It is in Harrison Township. It is actually the new sewer plant in Waverly. And they are being represented by Mr. Hale.
Thank you, folks, as well as we have Daniel Elliott here, president of the RDC, as well as Chelsea Mann, which is actually the EDC director that's on contract for the RDC as well. So thank you for the opportunity to present this tonight. It's been a long time coming for the ones that don't know. We actually started this back in 2002 and had the ribbon cutting last Friday. So it's a great day Friday, great turnout, really overwhelmed me with the number of people that showed up. I kind of figured there might be 5 or 10, and there was a good crowd there. So I really appreciated that, and I know all of us did that attended. So basically, this is the old RMR gravel pit. This actually used to be, Frank McClure started this years and years ago. You're gonna notice that the name of the plat is Far West. Far West was a town many, many, many moons ago that straddled the Johnson-Morgan County line. The best of me and a couple other people that's been researching this over the years, this is actually the site just north of where the First State Capitol was going to be up there in Port Royal, Waverly, and they called this Far West. And the reason why, the people that named it was actually Johnson County residents, and it was part of this Weston Johnson County. So that's why, that's how it's got its name. You're going to see Lot 1, that's actually where basically the structures for RMR, their shops are right now for their asphalt business. You're going to see it contains 1.02 of an acre. You're going to see that's Lot 2. Lot 1 has got 9.70 of an acre. That's actually where the sewage treatment plant is, and that's actually got plenty of room for future development. We do have a little bit there in the north west part of that that's all basically way down over the hill, and it's mostly really bad. It's all floodplain, but that's really floodplain over there. And it's just a lot of willows and a little bit of river birch, and it's mostly wooded still to this day. So we're just asking to be able to, the RDC, be able to hand this off to the Morgan County Regional Sewer Board so they can take, we'll be leasing this long-term with options to go ahead and purchase. So that's why we're here tonight, just asking for a simple minor plat so we can actually let the RDC give this to the Regional Sewer Board so they can actually start operating and functioning this. Be more than glad to answer any questions you may have.
This be used as expansion of the sewer plant or some other uses? do you think?
Expansion of the sewer plant only for the Regional Sewer Board bill. There is some, another meets and bounds parcel right there that's in this same parent parcel that's probably going to end up being sold off hopefully at a later date, but nothing right now promising on that. We are working with Mr. Shepherd and on the Johnson County side to where most likely you're going to see RMR is going to retain that operation that they're doing. They showed a pretty good interest. Wallace has to go ahead and purchase what they're actually using right now as a footprint back. So Mike's doing the work in Johnson County because it's going to be platted through the town of Bargersville. Bargersville's annexed all that 30 acres that we have up front.
They've annexed all the way over there?
All the way over there, yes. Yeah.
On Lot 2, there's a whole building? You said that's in a floodplain?
No, not up there. Down in the bottom is a floodplain area. You've got that, it's the Otis garage that Wallace Construction has, and it's just a big pole barn shop building. The office area, as well as their big shop area, that's all in Johnson County. Just depending on what surveys you're looking at, that office looks like it's half and half Johnson and Morgan, but there's a couple other surveys, and Mike mirrors it, that the office is all in Johnson County, so. If you go out there and look at the pins, there's about 6 different pins, Brian, on that roadway down of all the different surveys. There's none of them exactly the same. It's kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
Place has been surveyed to death out there.
It has, and I know Dick Wallace, whenever he got it, it had been surveyed so many times, and he says, Kenny, the office, I don't care what they say, they've told me it's in Morgan County, no, it's in Johnson, no, it's half. He says, I really don't know what it is anymore. So, but I mean, Mike Shepherd and most of the surveys concur that the office is all in Johnson County.
Any other questions for Mr. Hale?
Thank you.
Ms. Parker, do you have anything to add? Mr. Elliott, would you like to speak?
I will just concur with what Mr. Hale said, so appreciate your time.
Mr. Runkle, is that, okay, would you like to speak? Just here to hear? Okay. You're welcome to speak if you'd like to. Okay. All right. Well, this will close our public portion of the hearing. Any comments or questions? If not, I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve petition MIP 21-04 for preliminary and final plat.
We have a motion to approve the preliminary and final plat.
I'll second it.
Mr. Rumball seconds. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
We got a better plat. This plat won't be recorded. Plat than this. They won't record this.
I can print it off. I'll get,
It's over, you see over in this corner?
Can't read it.
Them meets and bounds from
Blurry.
See that in the corner?
They won't record that.
to the center of the river as it is today.
That big oak tree by the corner of the creek.
That's been,
I've got to say something.
Well, I've got one piece of property that the river goes through, and you can tell that it's moved this way for a number of years, and it's moved this way for a number of years.
Missouri River. Our daughter lives in Kansas. We went to
See what you can do, because that, they won't accept that blurry. That'll-
Yes.
When you make a
And it's
copy,
like
it gets
15
worse.
miles. from the
Yes.
river.
location of it adjacent to Johnson.
Amazing how much water can change things.
And he's gonna try to get us a better copy.
Or it shoots one way or the other way.
I had
Mr. Pete? Like to talk to us today about? Okay, he's not gonna entertain us tonight. Ms. Parker, you're up. You'll entertain us.
Just a couple quick items. We do have 3 petitions scheduled for May already, so keep us on your dance card. We'll be meeting. We do have our new building inspector who was hired and started. He's starting his 3rd week this week, and he's doing a great job. Lots to learn, big county, got to learn all the roads. I think his favorite name is Harrison Ford for Henderson Ford Road, so we heckle him about that. But he's doing a great job, and we're looking forward to getting him fully up to speed. And then the last thing is the steering committee is still working on the update of the zoning and subdivision control ordinance. So that's moving forward, and we have a meeting coming up this Thursday. So that group is working behind the scenes very hard, and we're going to create a good product for Morgan County. Anybody have any questions for me? Okay, great.
Meeting Thursday?
Yeah. So
Public attend?
you certainly can, yes.
How many more meetings do we have?
I think we have 2 or 3 more.
3 maybe? 3.
Yeah, maybe. We wrap up our work in June.
Yeah.
And then we start putting things out to the public and getting input and feedback, so. Yes, sir.
Question, what's that plastic city between 67 and the river that just sprang up? Really something interesting.
Plastic City.
For what it is, it looks like tents and everything else.
Where, Bill?
It would be this side of the Three Rivers deal, and it's down there in those flats. I just happened to see it today, and I've been up that
Oh.
way.
You're talking about that paintball place down there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
not our jurisdiction.
Not our jurisdiction?
Yeah, up there at
so, is it?
39, where 39 tees in, there's a paintball down over the hill.
Oh, I guess I'm thinking further north on
The one on
69.
37. You're talking about the one just north of 144.
Yeah, that's what
7,
I'm
right,
talking
Bill?
about.
That's Johnson County.
Okay.
County, it's been there for a handful of years, but
No, this is just right up
off 39 and 67 by the river.
Yeah, that,
far north.
no, not there.
Right along the river though, right?
It's a paint, it is a paintball, it was a paintball.
Snowden property, or the, is it where they was trying to put it in before?
It's been there.
That's off of 39.
This one has not been there.
No, I'm talking about the one right there off, just south of the hill right there.
Yeah, that's what
south
I'm
of
talking about,
39.
between the two hills, you go down, and your drive goes down to it.
Steve
Yeah.
Sloan's old property. That's where they tried to put it at, and then they moved it over to 39, and they got shut down by us.
Yeah, 39 got shut
Same.
down.
67, there's no road to it.
That's the old one. I don't think it's active anymore. I don't think. Do what, Keith? Did they shut it down? Yeah. I know the one you're talking about, Bill. Yeah.
Is there new activity there that you've seen?
Just when you drive by to, up 67, it all looks new to me, but maybe I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, they had all that plastic down in there like to hide behind and stuff like that.
Yeah, they actually tried to do it there, and then they got shut down, and then they went up to 39, come and asked the board, and
Yeah.
got shut down by us.
I remember
on
that one being shut down.
Same people was doing both of them, though.
I would assume, but I don't know, it's in our jurisdiction.
It's in our jurisdiction.
That is
yeah.
Yeah, the one I thought you were referring to was further north of 144 and 69.
Yeah, it's in Johnson County there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know, I've had reason to go up there, and I didn't notice it until today.
I'll take a look. Okay.
Johnson County Commissioners, his family owns that one up there.
Oh, okay. I'm glad it's out of our jurisdiction. Okay, well, if nothing further, thank you all. Have a very good evening.
That's all we have on our agenda. Our next meeting is May 10th. I'll call for a motion. Mr. Rumball second. All in favor, say aye. 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 Motion carries. Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
We still got all this Easter candy just shoved in our cabinets.
Make you a little sweeter, instead of being an old grouch.
I like being a grouch. Jelly beans.
I love the spice jelly.
I gotta put up with John, so. I like all
Always managed to get me two or three bags of that, because I can put it in glass jars, and it'll last, I can stretch that out to September, October.
Township trustee.
I get tractor and that kind of stuff. Just
You're supposed to call me.
I'll sit there all day. Always have one or two. When did I have one or two? Yeah, I'll have another one or two.
Yep.
All of a sudden, man, I had a big bag this morning. I got
Where'd it go?
That's the whole o'clock. I got a couple more hours out here. I was starving to death and die.
He gets paid $17,600.
My sister-in-law came over
And everything else.
Sunday,